been a little rough a couple of weeks, man. And so, man, I just want to let y'all know, man, please be praying for us, man. We definitely need y'all prayers, man. It's been a real rough few weeks, man. I feel like the podcast is under attack, man, because of what we're doing here, man. Trying to be a positive platform, man, to the people, to the community, man, and trying to be a voice to the voiceless. It's just been crazy, man. So y'all just pray for us, man. I would really love it. Y'all would just, pray for us, man, because we need it. Most definitely, man. We talked about the last couple of weeks we were talking about some good topics, man, and we happened to get cut off on them, man. Like 2 weeks ago, we had a little blackout situation. Last week, we had a blackout situation. This week, we had Facebook go down on us, man. It's crazy, ain't it? It's like, come on, man. Like, man, y'all got to give us a break out here. We trying to do this. We trying to get this thing live, and it's just so hard. It's just been so hard lately, man. So, yeah, just keep us in y'all prayers, man, so we can just definitely push this thing, man. Of course, we had to do it on this Wednesday at 6 o'clock because of the blackout situation from Monday. And hey, we here, man. Look, we go keep on fighting to get it out there. The devil won't win that easy, right, fam? Oh my God. Oh man. Say, I don't know if that's that good cushion, whatever that is, man. But so I need some of that what you on, folks. For real. I mean, she up here chilling. How y'all doing, man? Those who are joining us, man, please like and share this podcast, man. We would definitely love for y'all to like and share this podcast. We definitely want to get this word out. We want to get these conversations out. We just want to stimulate your mind, man, and just, have positive feedback. I know that it's so much going on in the world right now, man. And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, man, and we're not going to sugarcoat it. Like, we're going to be straight, blunt, and honest, man, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're not going to sugarcoat nothing. We going to definitely talk about everything that we need to talk about. We're not going to just tell you something that's going to have you walking away like, man, I don't know, or whatever. We going to get to the stuff that's, it's going to be a little touchy. It's going to be a little touchy, and I ain't going to lie to you. So, man, can you put that picture up, Calvin, man? I want you to put it up a few times, man, especially once we get going, man, and get a few people on. I want you to put that picture up that you gave us during the week, man, because we going to definitely be talking about that on next week. So just give him a second, man. He go put that picture up for you, man, because I want y'all to see where we're headed into next week, because I want y'all to prepare yourselves about what we're going to be talking about. Do your studies, man, and all of that good stuff, man. We're going to get some more people on here real quick. Let me share this thing real quick, man. I'm going to pull some people in, because I want everybody to be in on this conversation, because this is a conversation that a lot of us need to have, man. It's going to be a good conversation. I want to know y'all input. I want to know y'all feedback on this. So we'll give y'all time to come on in.
I was getting ready to start singing. Okay.
Girl, what did you finna start
No,
saying?
it's an old song. It just popped in my head when you kept saying it. So
What's that?
come on in the room.
Okay. Well, shoot, you sang on. You know what I'm saying? We want them to come on in the room. Lord have mercy. Um, yeah, we just go tap on and have some people come on in, man. I know they're not used to us on this Wednesday, and so they probably still trying to get home. Yeah, man. Look, this is the picture that we're going to be talking about next week. We're going to be talking about this. Look at the 1960 picture, and then look at the 2019 picture. What do you see? Like what's going on in the picture? Because seems like something is missing in 2019 that was there in 1960, man. And we really have to have this conversation because I feel like we're under a different kind of attack these days than we were at that time. I mean, the same intention, just a different method. So we definitely going to be talking about that next week, man. Look at it, man. We want to know what you think about that picture and how you're going to be able to conversate with us on next week when it comes to these things, man, because this is going to be a very, very profound conversation. And we're going to be honest about it. Like, we're not going to beat around the bush with it. We're going to be real honest about that conversation. But to this week, our topic is going to be a pretty touchy topic because a lot of people feel this way. And I understand why a lot of people feel this way, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people, you should feel this way, right? Because, I mean, we're protectors, we're providers, we're everything that, if you're that, you feel a certain way when it comes to certain individuals in your life, especially when it comes to your children. Mm-hmm. So this week we're going to be talking about, you can't tell me how to raise my kids. You can't tell me how to raise my kids. And this is going to be a very touchy topic because in today's world, in today's culture, in today's society, a lot of times we feel like should nobody tell us nothing about our kids. And that's how we feel. And I know mm-hmm. you're speaking from an outside experience because you don't have any kids, right? Mm-hmm. But you have seen this, I'm pretty sure, mm-hmm. in situations where you see kids don't discriminate when it comes to being kids, right? So when they don't care who they're around, they gonna be kids, right? Mm-hmm. And so you be trying to discipline them, you be trying to talk to them, and it's to the point right now, a lot of us just take our hands off. Like, I am not finna deal with you. Like, I'm not finna deal with this child because I know if I do anything towards you, I'm gonna have to deal with your people, and your people ignorant, right?
Yeah.
And so we don't even deal with that. Like, we be like, nah, forget that. I'm not finna deal with this kid. Forget these kids. Shoot, I'm finna go smoke my blunt and drink my liquor, whatever I'm doing at the time. Y'all are not finna ruin my buzz at this moment.
Yeah.
That part I thought you went right there. Yeah, man. But the bad thing about it is we're allowing these kids to basically raise themselves.
Yeah, and in some ways, I've noticed since the pandemic,
mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna share lightly because I don't want to share somebody else's business. But what I have noticed is that it's one thing to have a kid
mm-hmm.
that you're raising, but when you have multiples and it's just you,
my God,
I think that when it comes to disciplinary actions, when it comes to having certain time for each child, I feel like all that is limited, and I feel like people respond to that in a desperate way, and it becomes abusive. I also think that a lot of parents, since they don't really have the time, some people work 2 jobs, 3 jobs, got a lot of kids, high stress. So then the older kids become the parents.
That's
and
a lot
so
of
on
situations.
and so forth. And a whole bunch of different, I think, psychological things change at that point. Perspectives change. You have to grow up a little bit faster so that you can keep up.
Right.
So that's what I'm going to be talking about as far as my perspective on that, and just personal experience of certain things, what we call discipline, because there's more than one way to discipline somebody.
So let me ask you this, because I know you see this all the time. I really got to ask this question. Should you let another person discipline your child?
No. And here's why.
Why?
You don't, even if you are
Y'all answer that question too.
Even if you are very familiar with the person, even if you know them from way back when, you don't know what that person is dealing with in their mind. You don't know what they do before they discipline your child. And from personal experience, when somebody else had permission to discipline me, it wasn't good. When I was in school,
they was whooping you because they didn't like your people.
I don't know.
It was bad though.
But when I was here's an example. When I was going to Jan Irvin, and I was in kindergarten.
Oh, you did go to Jan Irvin. You is a Holland Hiller. God almost got you from the Dub. She from Holland Hill, y'all. Don't get off now. You know what I'm saying? She from the Dub. She from the Hill. She a little gangster.
So the situation was very childlike because we were kids. I was coloring, and the boy took my color, and so I took it back. He took it, and I threw it at him.
Oh.
So from that day, Miss Haynes, I remember my teacher, Miss Haynes, they used to, paddle you in your hands. Well, on certain days, your parent would speak to the principal. Like when you're leaving school, then if your parent's picking you up, you'll end up talking to the principal. The principal is explaining what happened that day. So my mom gives her permission. You got permission to whoop her.
Oh.
She gives her permission. One day, I get in trouble for something childlike.
Right.
And she paddled me, and it wasn't a regular paddling. This lady was hitting me in my back, in my legs. Like, she was hitting me all over with a paddle.
Hey, she was.
And as a kid, I feel like you don't say anything because, well, in your mind, my parent gave him or her permission. So if something did go wrong or something did happen to you, you don't say anything because your voice has been taken.
Right.
So years go by. And my mama asked me one day, she was like, why do you have such a problem with, like, authority figures, like principals? Why do you have a problem with them?
Right.
And I explained to her what happened. The first thing she said was, why you didn't say anything? I could have did something. No, you couldn't have.
Right.
Because you gave somebody permission to do something, and you just didn't know how far this person was going to go. That's why. You don't know what's going on in other people's mind. You don't know what they consider discipline. You don't know what kind of experiences they had and what they're going to lay on to you.
Right.
My dad disciplined us. He wasn't right with everything he did. Nobody's going to be perfect. But there were several instances where it was abusive behavior. It's a big difference between being abused and being disciplined if you're going to choose corporal punishment. And there's several ways to punish somebody. It doesn't mean, I didn't learn how to reason when somebody was hitting me. You don't. That doesn't force you to critically think about what you're doing. It doesn't force you to understand why you're doing what you're doing, how to change your behavior. You're just getting hit.
Right.
It's not effective. And it does cause other issues, in the long run. Other issues in the long run.
Other issues like what?
Other issues like you develop certain insecurities. Like if someone, for example, for me, when people would call my name in school or anywhere, I always assumed I was in trouble. I did something. Even when I knew I did nothing. Right. I just thought I was in trouble for something. It also, when people did things that I didn't like towards me, I fought them because that's what I knew. Right. My parents, if I do something that my parents don't like, they're going to whoop me. So you doing something I don't like, I'm about to whoop you. Right. You're not, it doesn't teach any bound. It doesn't teach reasoning. It doesn't teach discernment. There's not a balance.
So y'all tell me how y'all feel about that. Should somebody else have permission to whoop your child? Should somebody else have permission to whoop your child? Calvin, can you put that on the screen for all the people who do join? I just want to keep that question on the screen right there. I want them to answer that question when they come into the room. Should somebody have permission to whoop your child? Because back in my day, I'm telling you straight up, if my mama knew you and y'all was cool, you had permission. And tell the truth about it, she didn't really have too many stipulations on how you do your thing. Like, as long as you don't kill them and bring them back home, I'm serious. Like, I'm telling you, they really practice that raise a village. It takes a village to raise a child cliche. They really, really live by that. And it was time when I got whoopings, and then I got home, and I got another whooping. And then when somebody else came, my uncle and them came or something, I got another whooping. Then they had the nerve to put me on punishment. Like, dang, y'all go.
It was overkill.
Man, I'm talking about, man, it was just rough. But should somebody have permission to whoop your child? I mean, you coming from a personal experience, but some of these kids, it's bad. Like, I'm talking about bad.
I've had all my friends, except for A couple of them have kids.
Like I be feeling like Kevin Hart sometimes.
And I've kept them.
Like I would sneak your child. Like I'm serious. I would sneak your child. Like I bump your child, you know, to keep on walking. You wouldn't even know what happened. I mean, want to, but I wouldn't. But you know, these kids is terrible. Like they're really terrible. And I mean, I understand that can't nobody tell you how to raise your kids. But the problem I feel like is, if can't nobody tell you how to raise your kids, who gonna raise them?
I think that can't nobody tell me how to raise your kid. You should leave some room on somebody telling you just from their own experiences. Okay, that way probably not the best way, because you do it with everything else in your life.
But how do you tell somebody that's the wrong way to do that to your child?
Well, I don't have no problem with saying nothing.
But I'm talking about how do people receive it? Like people don't receive that too well. I'm gonna tell you.
No, they don't. They don't. A lot of people don't. But I have friends, and there were some things that I saw, and I'd be like, okay, look. I'm not,
and that's right.
And I'm not
Quita
saying
say it depends.
Time out. I'm not saying that time out is for adults. You need to go time out, cool off before you perform whatever you're getting ready to perform. But
Quita says, cousin, she say it depends. It depends. Look at the screen. It depends, because some of these kids don't respect nobody. And then you got to ask, where does that come from that you don't respect nobody? Like you basically then came into this world. You feel like you are entitled to everything that you do, everything that you say, and can't nobody tell you nothing. I'm gonna beat you. Like I'm gonna do you something.
But
like you gonna have to get this child from.
Necessarily change your behavior either.
What? Oh, it'll change. I don't care what you talk about. Shoot, I'm saying it'll give you something to think about. I guarantee you'll think about it. As a child, you don't reason well, though. Like at a certain age, you begin to reason.
Right.
But before that pop go count. I'm telling you, that pop. Hey, I'm telling you, you heard that pop go count. I don't care what nobody say. Quita say people do not receive constructive criticism when it comes to their parenting, and that's right, because Miss Pat said yes with my permission. Miss Pat must be old school. I know you old school, baby. She said you can whoop with my permission. You got out, and then when you finish with them, bring them to me. That's what my mama used to. I'm telling you, it was so real. Quita say it comes from the home, and sometimes it can come from society, which is true. Which is so true. We spend more time letting our kids watch Facebook and YouTube than actually raising our children. I was just talking to Calvin before we actually went live, and we gonna cut off a little bit early. We go end it at 6:45, because after this podcast, we have another podcast, which is my pastor's podcast, and I'm not missing it. I'm telling you, I gotta hear that word. And please tune into the Hot Podcast after this. You're gonna love this word. I'm telling you, you gonna need Secret Service protection. I guarantee it, because in this world today, we need some protection. But that's gonna be the next podcast. But look, I'm just saying, it comes from the home, it comes from society. We spend so much time letting our kids watch Facebook and YouTube than raising our children. And like I was telling Calvin, just because you provide for them does not mean you raising them.
True.
It doesn't. There was a time when a parent would pull their child to the side and say, listen, baby, let me tell you something about life. Let me tell you something about what you're doing. And yeah, you'll probably still make the mistake, but at least when you make the mistake, you got something, some kind of intellect, some kind of light. Okay, I can bounce back from this because I know now. Like, we don't even do that no more. We just, hey, that's my baby. They gonna make mistakes. They just learning. What are they learning? Like, ain't nobody teaching them.
Some people, and that's no discipline. That's the difference. You can discipline somebody without putting your hands on them, but there are some people that just don't believe in discipline at all. That's the difference. Discipline is a behavioral change, but you need to understand when to apply certain levels of discipline. When you whooping a teenager, that ain't doing nothing.
Oh no, you can't whoop no teenager. When I was 12 and my mom was whooping me, that didn't do nothing. You've already done all that. It means nothing. The pain is going away. It means nothing. Children needs one-on-one learning experiences, not TV or game, and that's true.
Yeah, definitely.
That's true. When you're in your teenage years, I'm gonna tell y'all what I do to my boys. Y'all can use it if y'all want to, but this is what I do to my kids. I take their chargers.
Yeah, the phone.
I don't take their phone.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's gonna die.
It's gonna die slow.
Yeah,
it ain't gonna be.
Yeah.
Say, man, it is such a sad. I swear to God, it's Pookie on New Jack City. It just keep calling. Man, they have the worst schizo attack. Like they be skissing, like they be walking through the house back and forth, and they want you to see them, so they make little noises and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I be like, I see you.
Make you feel bad.
Yeah. I don't feel bad, bro. Let it die. Let it die. You'll be all right. I'm gonna keep the charger for the rest of the week though, and I bet not see no charger pop up. They'll go to school, charge their phone. Then by the time they get out of school, it's dying again. You know, I already know the little old secrets, you know what I'm saying, that you do. But I do little things like that to teach them that I don't have to put my hands on you to teach you.
Exactly.
I can teach you way deeper than what this belt can do. Because you're at an age right now that this belt ain't this pop don't mean nothing to you no more. Mm-hmm. You know, when they young and they little babies, shoot, you can say no, and all that stuff, that works. When they get older, shh. Them kids look you upside your face, like, and be looking at you like, yeah, I hear you, but I'm probably not gonna do what you're saying, and that's okay with me. But if you don't, she over here. I think we done hit. I think we done hit a few people. Our grandmother. Our grandmother.
Off the hinges. The doors off the hinges.
What?
We had to
leave it up there a little bit, Kevin. Hold on. She just blew my mind with this. She say her mama would take the doors off the hinges. Hold on.
Doors off. That way you can't, if she told you you can't do this,
ain't no way you can hide that.
Door.
Yeah,
you can't close that door and do whatever she said
right.
you could do. So she would
take
that.
That's
or
tough. And she would take it off herself?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, boy.
Or my dad
Cherie was tough.
A whooping.
Golly. So Quita says, our grandmother did not believe in sparing the rod. When she spoke, we moved. She bestowed respect in us, and a lot of parents are so caught on. Oh, okay. Are so caught on making sure the kids are flashy versus teaching them the morality of respect. That is so powerful what you just said. That's my cousin there too. I'm gonna claim you now, cousin, because you getting a little too wise. I gotta claim you, girl. I'm just playing. I claim her for the rest of my life. That's my baby. But man, that's so powerful because we do want our kids to look good. We want them to have the latest fashions and do the latest stuff. Every time you turn around, you on Facebook, kids doing something, right? And them same kids, and they make it look so good on Facebook. We need to quit tricking people on Facebook too. We need to quit tricking people on Facebook as if you got the best kids in the world. These kids are terrible.
Social media heist.
Yeah, don't be doing that. Like these kids really so deserve, so undeserving. I'm telling you, these kids are so undeserving these days. Back in the days, we kind of deserved a little more. We did. All we got was a water hose, hide go seek, and some bicycles. And we kind of was better. I don't care what nobody say. They talking about, well, and I seen a meme on Facebook the other day. They had like a belt, a switch, a broomstick, extension cord.
I think I seen that meme.
Talking about this is the reason why kids back in the days respected their parents. I had to come back with it. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I say, nah. We were disrespectful. That's the reason they had those. Cause it's you, but they used them. That was the impact of it. They used those things, and we don't use them anymore. Quita say discipline goes a long way than just physical. It does. It totally does. And I
think it's needing to understand when to use what and to what extent.
Right.
Like beating your child upside down. Is abusive.
That's
dipping
terrible.
them into water.
That's terrible.
Is abuse. Like that's not no.
Nah, that's not cool.
So it's just certain things. I feel like
I was beat upside down.
I'm upset with you.
You hold that leg.
I'm gonna whoop you
because you can't run.
But I've built up so much anger towards you. Now I'm really gonna beat
you. I'm gonna beat you.
That's a difference, a fine line between discipline and abuse. And
right.
People just cross over it and they be like, well, I'm the parent, so this is discipline. No, but if a grown man or a grown woman did that to you, it's abuse. It's the same thing.
Say, who remember this? Who remember this? Go to that corner.
I remember that.
Ooh, all right, look, she got lost for words when I said go to that corner. But that corner used to turn you up. Oh, my God. You couldn't turn around. Turn your head around. You better not turn around. I'm talking about that corner. And then if you do get too bad, they say, get on your tiptoes. Oh, my God.
I feel like that was most effective, like when you were around other people.
in the corner on your tiptoes.
And now you can't participate. Calf muscles hurt.
And then they be rewarding. I got strong calf. Then they be rewarding your brother and sister then while you in the corner. Talking about, y'all can go get some cookies and some candy. You be trying your best not to look back. Like, dang, bro. Man, say discipline was so crazy. It was just so, it was strategic back then. Like, they used to have some strategy to it. Like, they used to come together in the room at night and be like, how we go get them tomorrow? Type stuff. Like, I'm for real. I think
they probably did, because I do remember a time I got in trouble. I don't know what I did. It was probably smart mouth. We'll just say that. And I got a whooping. That's what it was. I was at our cousin's house, and my cousin made a joke at my mom, and we all started laughing. My mama didn't like the joke, and then we were laughing, but we couldn't stop. It was so funny. Well, she whooped us, and then my dad got home, and they whooped us like back and forth. Parents like back and forth.
Dang.
For a long time.
Ooh.
It was not that serious.
It seemed to be that serious.
It was a laugh. I still tell her. I don't know what we was laughing at now, but when I bring that up, she still has like this frown.
Right. Quita say, y'all forgive me if my words are misspelled because I'm driving and using that text to talk. Well, cuz however you get it, man, just get it how you get it, you know what I'm saying? But say, I'm going to tell y'all something. My cousin said my granny didn't used to do that whooping stuff. Man, I'm going to have to check you on that, cousin, because there was plenty of time my granny used to say, go get that switch. Oh, my God.
Switches, yeah.
She used to get that switch and turn that skin off that boy and twist them boys up together. And when they hit you, leave them whips. Ooh, that booger used to hurt. I don't care what nobody say. Anybody ever had to go get their own switch? Boy, that booger used to hurt. Leisha say she remember the corner. You remember the corner? Shit, that corner was tough. It was a lot of discipline that we used to do back in the days, especially when we was younger. Yeah. But one thing that was good about back in the days was, and my mother used to do it. I don't know if anybody realized that, but you know, your mother used to tell you little nuggets. They used to pour little nuggets. She did the best she could with what she had.
Yeah,
like she would say stuff like, you know why I whooped you, right? We don't do that no more.
Yeah. There's no explaining, there's no reasoning, there's no help. If I have a certain behavior and you're trying to correct it, and if I'm not understanding what the area is in my behavior,
okay,
you're gonna whoop me again for the same thing because I'm gonna do it again.
Right, boy. We used to get some whoop-ins. Lord have mercy. Like and then I had them brothers and sisters that used to set me up. Like, they used to set me up for it. Yeah, Quita say, nah, I said she did used to whoop us. Oh, okay. She didn't believe in spurring the ride. Oh, okay, I must have caught that wrong, cousin. She had to check me back. I'm checked, cuz, for real. Because my grandtie, she would whoop you. And she didn't curl, like she would whoop you for real. And then she'd call everybody in the family and tell them that she just whooped you. Why you sitting there? Why you whooping, girl? Because you already over here. I'm like, oh, man, shoot, because now I'm scared because somebody else might pop up with their little old belt or something. Like, it was a family affair. You hear me? Everybody used to come get theirs in. But the thing about it is, what do we do in today's world? How do we change the trajectory of where we're going? I think once they started implementing more of, and I was talking about this with the director of Cheddar's today, because I went to Cheddar's the other night, man, and the kids, man, the teenagers was in there, bro. And I don't mean to say bro, cousin. The teenagers was in there and they was acting a plum fool. And it was the Cheddar's, probably know what Cheddar's it was, right there off 20 and Wheeling. I got over there and man, I'm talking about they was acting a plum. I got hot. I had to hold myself because we get there, it's dirty. Everything's dirty. Yeah. They lying to us when we go in the door because it's 9 o'clock. They close at 10. The little girl in there lying, talking about ain't no seats for an hour and a half. Do you still want to be? Well, why is you still sitting up here taking names, talking about ain't no seats in the hour? I look around there, ain't nobody in there really. I'm like, oh, she outside. I say, well, just put me on the list. Just put me on the list. I'm going to go out here and wait for you. She called me about 20 minutes later talking about, Mason, are you still out here waiting for your table? I said, yeah, I'm still out here waiting.
Oh, Lord.
She said, well, you got 10 minutes to get in here or we going to give your table away. I'm like, man, this is all crazy. Yeah. So I go in there, they take us to the table. We get over there, man, it's food. And I'm like, man, come on. This is why we don't come to the hood places like this here. Why is y'all letting this establishment even look like this? Talking about, they just kids. No. The hell with that. You can fire them. Yeah. I will fire you. This ain't your playground. This ain't this ain't McDonald's. You know, exactly. This is an establishment. I don't care who kids they is. Fire. Yeah, I can get some more kids, but I'm gonna fire you. And I got so high. I walked up to the little boy. He had a broom in his hand, cousin. I said, hey, man, can you come clean off these chairs? You know what that boy said to me? He said, who, me? I said, boy, you the one standing. I said, bro, get somebody to clean off these chairs. He got all over this little partner. Hey, come clean the chair. I go over there, sit down. We sitting there for like 10, 15 minutes. Ain't nobody came to ask this dude want something to drink. Nothing like that. It's still, I'm talking about every other thing. It's just, I say, this is ridiculous. I got hot. Yeah. And this is just a reflection of where they coming from.
Yeah.
They walking through here cussing and stuff. Like, it was so bad. Man, it was just terrible. Quita say, well, I'll use to be grouped up in that back room and don't let you waste her food or mess up. Say, don't let you waste her food or mess up that house. Her words was, forget me a switch, because we used to hide the one she had. We did used to hide the switches she had. Sometimes we would try to break them boys up in little pieces. So she couldn't use them no more. She said the parents have to be the initiators if they grow tired. And just wash their hands with what their kids do or how they turn out. Then that's what's to come of them growing up. Right, you can't wash your hands with your kids.
Yeah.
They still your kids.
Absolutely.
And you gonna have to, God gave you the strength to raise them when he gave you the strength to birth them. Okay. I don't even know where that came from, but that probably just encouraged somebody on this live right now. God gave you the strength to raise them when he gave you the strength to birth them. Guaranteed. And he gave you the authority to. Parents want to be in their turn up phase after their kids get old enough to watch themselves. Boy, let me tell you, I might be a little guilty of that one. I might be a little, I might be a little guilty of that one, cousin. What you got, Cam?
I got a comment. So I believe that this generation's. Can you hear me now?
I cannot.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
I believe this generation's problem is they may fear or respect the authority that's in front of them, but they don't do it enough to adhere or to listen, because the parents not backing the authority.
Ooh.
Okay.
Because they don't believe their child can do no wrong. They don't believe their child's going to have any problems. So they don't get home, they'll get sent to their room, or their parents going to defend the discipline that may have been already given.
Right.
Whereas back in the day, it don't matter what the teacher said, they was right.
Say.
It don't matter what was said.
They was right.
You want to tell me what happened to school today?
Uh-huh. And you know your child.
Nowadays, the parents not backing the authority.
Right.
So the kid doesn't respect the authority because there is no true discipline.
Right. Right. And I think that comes from more of being friends with your child than being a parent to your child. You can't be friends and a father. You can't be friends and a mother. Yeah, you can have a friendship with them, but you cannot be their friend. There's a big difference. There's a big difference in titles. There's a big difference in positions. There's a big difference, because once you enter into that friend zone, it's a very dangerous place, because now they feel like they can talk to you like they friends. Now they feel like they don't really have to listen to what you're saying. Even if you're telling them something for their better good, they feel like it's an opinion. They don't have to take it to heart. Everything that you say to them from that day forward becomes a friend talking to a friend.
Yeah, it's the parents' job to establish boundaries.
You got to establish those boundaries.
Can feel comfortable to speak to you about. So you want them to have that open.
Right,
but you want them to also remember that there is a line right here,
right,
between us,
right.
But people,
I'm your mama.
I think people lack it, because when people access, or when people access, everybody access out in their trauma child.
Yeah, you
right?
call in because you got my
them,
number.
And they're like, well, I'm never going to do this to my kid because it made me feel this way. And instead of them just correcting how something was done,
right,
they just altogether don't do it. And just
right.
like, well,
I'm not finna deal with that.
When I was a kid, my teacher lied on me, and I got this happened to me. So
right.
now, as a parent, instead of you just going in and being like, hearing what it is, it's just automatically, I'm going to defend my child.
Right.
Period. That's
right.
all. So those boundaries get lapsed. People don't know how to address their own trauma so that they can negate their child. They don't know how to do that. They don't know how to negate.
Right. Quita, you on?
She's on. Oh, she's on?
Yeah, she on the she should be on. Yeah, it's connected. Calvin, can you cut her up? You got a bad signal or something? You on. I don't know what's going on, but you on here. But yeah, that's very, very what you're saying is all that's profound. We have to put those boundaries. We have to make them know, listen, I'm your father. I'm your mother. Because it's not, and I know you want your child to like you. And that's cool. I mean, but I don't care if they don't like me all the time. What I care about is the end result. Like when you leave here, did I do a good enough job with you for you to survive in this world and not have to deal with I'm the authority figure. Right. Did I do enough?
You stopped his whole sentence.
What? You got it? All right. I can hear you now.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So drawing back to what you were saying about the friendship, and I didn't catch the lady name this week.
That's Kyra. That's my cousin Shakara.
Shakara. Okay, I'm sorry, boo.
She done got an older girl. She done got a grown on. You know what I mean?
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Drawing back to the friendship thing.
Yeah, you have to find a balance.
You do. The balance is not there with a lot of parents. The
right.
balance is gone. It's like, oh, my child, like, what is his name in the back?
Calvin.
Okay, Calvin was saying, it used to be a time where parents took the adult side. Now, the parents are coming at the adults. I done seen so many videos where the parents don't to the school fighting down the teachers, cussing out the principal, doing this and doing that, but you're not standing up for what's right.
Right.
You can't possibly know your child if your child is exuberating these behavior. You can't possibly be paying attention to what your child is doing.
Right.
Because I done seen a couple of things you done did in the house.
Right.
That you put on this persona. Kids have a way of putting on a persona, and they got a good tail persona.
I'm telling you.
I act like this in front of my mama, but when I get to school in front of my friends, I'm gonna show my tail.
Right.
Trying to fit in.
And you gotta, as a parent, put two and two together because it could be that friend that's manipulating that person. It could be a little prank on Facebook, like you said, cousin, that could be manipulating that child to go those certain actions, and now your mama don't know nothing. Oh, I didn't know he was doing that. Baby, I want to do you need to write your books and your pictures.
Right. Like you know your child. You know your child, babe.
If they didn't know their kid before the COVID,
they know them now. And that's for sure. Like, it's crazy how these parents will actually ignore. And I mean, I'm not the one to do it. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm gonna get on my son's case, and I mean, you know, if I gotta go up there, I'm gonna read the teacher too. You gotta have a spirit of discernment when it comes to certain stuff. You gotta be able to read that teacher and say, okay, this teacher can't be lying. Like, what do they really have to lie about? And you got to be able to read them, and then you got to be able to read your child. That's why you need to be up at them schools. Like, you can't sit up there and say you raising your child and you don't know their teachers.
Right, I ain't never heard of their name before.
You ain't gave the teachers no. You ain't went to the teachers at one. You ain't went to no PTA meeting. You ain't did nothing at the school. But you raising them with the best that you can do. Baby, catch the bus if you ain't got no transportation. Them your child. They worth the bus trip. And you know, it's just crazy because you know, and we're about to stop in 5 minutes because I want to make sure that we stop in 5 minutes. So please comment. Should somebody be allowed to whoop your child? We talking about you can't tell me how to raise my kids. Should someone have permission to whoop your child? That's a very touchy question. Not everybody go say, yeah, I get that. I get it. But I'm going to tell you straight up, if the coach call me and tell me, hey, man, I'm finna powder your son, I'm going to say why. Because it is that, and the other. And say, if I know my son, I know if he did it, I'm going to say, well, go ahead and get him. Because I know he did that. It ain't even no question in my mind if he did that one. He did that yesterday. I seen him. Mm-hmm. He did it. Go on and get him. But you would rather stand up for what's wrong and allow your child to be enabled about their future. You're not stopping. All you're doing is creating a bigger headache for yourself later on. Because you go be the one going to get them out of jail. You go be the one having to pay for their funeral. You go be the one having to take care of that baby. You go be the one having to feed them and clothe them because you didn't give them proper. I mean, it's something. Long as your intentions are right, that's so powerful. Yes, Deisha, that is right. As long as their intentions are right. Now, you ain't finna just beat my child. Like every time they do something, I'm a parent. Sometimes you just gotta talk it. You gotta talk it through. So why you do that? What was you feeling? Oh, you was in your feelings. Okay, well, you gotta realize that your feelings can't dictate your actions. You gotta at some point you gotta have some type of wisdom, some type of conscience about the stuff you do. You're a man. You're a growing child. And sooner or later, your decisions are going to do more than give me a phone call. You got to tell them that stuff. And we're not doing it. Like, I ain't going to say everybody not doing it, but majority of us, we just not doing it. And we got to do it. Do y'all know that there are over 15 million kids being raised by single parents in America?
Yeah, them statistics.
Talking about women being raised by a woman. In America, there are over 3 million kids being raised by a single father in America. Do y'all know that statistically, a child raised in a single parent home has more, the statistics say they are less likely to perform well in school, more likely to be addicted to drugs, more likely to get in unhealthy relationships, more likely to not succeed. And when even with co-parenting, I'm talking about even if they stay with the father and the mother over here, you know what I'm saying? Even with co-parenting, they're still subject to those statistics.
It's still a broken home.
It's still a broken home.
At mama house, and then you got X amount of rules at daddy house, and daddy trying to outdo mama.
Right.
It becomes
she say, ooh wee.
Ooh wee.
Yeah, it becomes a manipulation. Like,
right.
Or even,
you know, it just,
when they do
playing on
have
each other's side.
Same parents in the same household, if y'all don't get along and y'all in the same household,
y'all teaching them division.
That, and they also can play. They can
play both sides.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
They manipulate that.
And I ain't gonna even sit up here and say my kids the best kids. They ain't never did that. Our kids done tried that a few times, and I would say, well, I would have to come to my wife, like, hey, do you know that they talked to me about this before they did it? Oh, no, they didn't tell me that. I said, well, you know, and this is us just learning. Because we hadn't, experienced this before. So in learning, we learned that, they go try to play us. Oh, it's us against them. Yeah. I mean, it's not like that. We ain't going to war.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
When it comes to this little trickery, it's us against them. We gotta be on the same accord. Right. And if we not on the same accord, then we got a weak spot.
Right.
And they gonna find it.
They gonna use that. That's
It's so smart. They find the parents' weak spot quicker than the parents can realize they own.
Cause
they have less things to stress over.
It's so funny.
Like I do. This is one of my critiquish things with parents. And parents, please, if you can hear me on this podcast, just take this with you before it ends. Stop arguing and putting your business
in front of your kids.
Please,
I'm telling you.
Because they will take everything they can and either use it against you, make you feel guilty, make you feel bad, and now you done suck at yourself
Yeah.
into giving this child a world while she giving you nothing but poop in your hands.
Right. And so we got to end. We got to end, cousin. I love what you're saying. I'm glad you tuned in. Catch us on Monday at 7. Look, like and follow and share these podcasts. We really want to get this stuff out there, cousin. It is so important that we have these conversations. Listen.
Y'all be blessed.
Be blessed.
Be blessed.
Listen, this is what we're going to say. Kyra, you got anything to say before we jump off this thing?
I'll let you wrap it up.
Man, look, I really appreciate y'all joining on here. We as parents, you can't tell me how to raise my kids. But that doesn't negate the responsibility of you taking the initiative to raise them yourself. If you're not going to raise your kids, then you're going to have to step down on being so adamant and so quick to get on somebody's case about something that your kid done did.
Yeah, and be open to have teachable moments.
Moments.
You're a parent.
And we learning.
Not perfect.
We coming out of that 1985 crack epidemic.
Yeah.
Y'all, this is real.
Yeah.
We coming out of that 1985 crack
perfect.
epidemic, and we lost all of our mind. We lost
Yeah.
after 1985 when that crack hit. Man, that crack did us a number, boy. I ain't lying. I'm just being real. And we went from actually being a presence in our household to now father in jail and mama on drugs. Quit playing. And I'm just being real. Yeah. But we got to get back to it. And we got to do it because our future is at stake. We not the future. Our kids are. And the moment we let our kids slip through the cracks, that's the moment we realize that now we don't have a future. And so now our future is dim. But if we step up and do everything that we can from this day forward, I guarantee you we can change the trajectory of our kids' life, and we have to do it. It's not just something that we want to do. It's our responsibility to do that. And cousin, I pray that when you have your kids, you remember these conversations that we have, and you start doing. Yeah, I got you. You know what I'm saying? You can go back and remember these conversations, because these will be the conversations that'll help you in those moments where you like, what do I do?
Okay.
For real. And I pray that this helps somebody on here, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in. What's up, my boy Pig on here, man? Queen of Dees, thank y'all for tuning in, tapping in, man. I love y'all so much. But listen, y'all got to catch this next podcast. Please tap into this next podcast, because you gonna need some Secret Service protection. I'm telling you, this word is about to blow your mind. The hot podcast is about to get on this thing. My pastor, to y'all is Pastor Dixon, is to me is Father D, because he's my father in ministry. Man, this dude had you laughing and crying at the same time, but you can't deny that the fact that he's giving the word of the Lord to your life, and you're gonna enjoy this next word. Listen, catch us next week, Monday at 7. Monday at 7. I don't care what the devil say. We done had to move this thing around. We done had 2 shows stop, but we still here working. I don't care if I got 1 listener or 15,000 listeners. We still go do it because it's God-given, and this is what God has put on our heart to do, to be a positive platform for the community and give a voice to the voiceless. Ain't that right?
Right.
Man, look, Kyra, I love you, girl. You showed up, man. Everybody, I understand everybody else couldn't show up due to their situations, but you know we have to fight through it every day. We got to fight through it. Monday at 7, man. Y'all tap in, like, follow, and share, man. Thank y'all. It's your boy Shelvin,
Lady K, and thank you for being staying tuned in the chatterbox.
Amen. Nah, it's all
and
good. It's all good. It's all good. I really appreciate you, Calvin, for tapping in, man. It was very, very profound what y'all did, man. But listen, we're about to get out of here, man. Thank y'all for stopping by to chat with us. Next week, Monday at 7, come on, chat with us. We'll chat it up. Peace.